everybody. Today we're going to be making our rainbow trees. So to get started with this, you're going to need a rectangular piece of white paper, something that can get wet. You're going to want a Sharpie, a pencil, some colorful water-based markers, and a brush and a cup of water. All right, let's get started. Step one is to take our pencil and draw a nice line across our paper. Make sure it's a small little space near the bottom. Next step is to draw some trees. We're going to be doing a rainbow forest, so we're going to need 6 trees, one for each color of the rainbow, across the page. So I'm going to draw my lines straight up. And now that I have 6 lines, I'm going to draw some lines coming out of it with little tiny lines shooting out of it to make it look like branches. Do as many or as few branches as you want, and do that for all 6 of your trees. All right, now that all of my trees are done, I'm going to go over them with Sharpie. Next, at the very bottom, way down here at the bottom, the bottom half of this space, I'm going to fill in with black, but I'm going to leave the space above it white. Now that I've thickened the bottom part of my space here, I'm going to connect all of my trunks so that they touch the black space that I just did. And then the last thing I'm going to do is thicken up my trunks. My trunks are all very skinny. I don't mind that the branches are skinny, but I do want my trunks to be a little bit thicker. So starting at the base of where all the branches start, I'm going to draw a line going out like this, so it's a little bit thicker at the bottom, skinnier at top. And then I'm going to fill that in just to make my trunk a little bit thicker and the tree tops very thin. I'm going to do that for all 6 of them. Very last step before we get into the color is to erase any leftover pencil marks that we might see on our space. You can leave the pencil mark line down here if you would like, just so you know how far up to color when we get to the coloring part. Okay, so here's what all 6 of our trees all done in Sharpie look like when they're all put together. And now we're ready to do our color part. So we are going to need some markers for this step. And because we are using a rainbow theme, you're going to need rainbow colors. So make sure that you are pulling out of your collection of colors at least one color for every color of the rainbow. We are going to be using markers, nothing else. It should be markers because markers is the only thing that's going to work for this next cool magical part. So get every color that you're going to need, red, or green, blue, purple, and we're going to get started. Let's zoom in. Okay, for your first tree, you're going to be using red. Now, instead of filling the tree tops with solid red color or other kind of swirly shapes to make it look like leaves, we're actually going to fill it with a bunch of shapes. So you can pick any shape that you want or any type of line that you want to repeat over and over again. But I'm going to be filling the entire tree top with a bunch of red triangles. Color the top of the trees with your shape, whatever shape you decided. Down below it, we're going to color in the base up to the line with a blob of the color that coordinates with the tree. So if the shapes are red up here, then the space below it is red. I'm not coloring all the way across, just right underneath the tree. The next tree is going to be orange, and we're going to continue going through the rainbow that way. So now with orange, I'm going to pick a different shape, any shape that you want. Doesn't matter what shape it is. I'm going to choose circles for this one, and I'm going to repeat putting these orange circles all over the tree, very densely packed. That means very close together, until I fill up the whole tree space with these shapes that I've created in orange. So we're going to continue this process of doing treetop shapes in every color of the rainbow. Let's get going. Okay, so every tree has a different shape and a different color. We have red triangles, orange circles, yellow stars, green spirals, blue hearts, and purple squares. I also put a splotch of color at the bottom that coordinated with the color on top. Now is for the fun, magical part. We're going to get a little cup of water and a brush, and we're going to add a little water to our ink and watch what sort of magical things happen. Adding the water to my ink will actually cause the ink to spread out and fill in and actually create more of a puffy, fluffy tree look without ruining the cool patterns that we did underneath. So the patterns are still going to show up, but they're going to be a little bit lighter and they're going to be a little bit more like secret shapes instead of obvious clear shapes. I'm also adding a little water at the bottom just to spread out that ink down there too, so it just looks a little bit cleaner and neater. There we have it, our beautiful rainbow forest with all of our shapes now as secret shapes hiding in the treetops. And some of the colors are bleeding together, but I actually really like that. I think it looks really cool. It looks like one is kind of going into the next. Same with the bottom. And I'm choosing to leave my background white. If for some reason you decide you'd like to do something else with it, feel free to get any coloring materials you want and color that in. But I think leaving it white really makes the trees and the grass area pop right out at us. Hope you guys had fun making these beautiful rainbow trees with me, and I can't wait to see some of the cool patterns that you come up with.